Welcome to the second part. In this part, we will go to the domain layer and then we will define entities and create classes. I'm going to be needing you to be focused because we have a lot of work to do, so grab your coffee and let's get into it. We need to prepare things before we start implementing the layers, so the first thing we need is to write some resources required to implement our logic properly. First, we create a folder named resources in core, then we create a file inside it named data state, which contains the following code. This abstracted base class is very handy when we come to the fact that we're about to communicate with network calls, but how? In order to determine the state of the request being sent to the server and its response, this wrapper class can be used to wrap our entire network call, which is so important later on when we will have too many requests in logic. You will see how minimized the code would become. As you can see in the code, we have two different states, one when we get a successful response, and the other is used when an error occurs while sending the request or receiving the response. When you are going to start a project from scratch, which part do you code first? In my case, I code the classes of the data that I'm going to use throughout my entire application. I consider this to be a good practice as it helps us lay down the information that will flow through all of our logic. This means that we have to start from the domain layer. Domain is the inner layer which shouldn't be susceptible to the whims of changing data sources. It will contain only the core business logic and business objects. It should be totally independent of every other layer. In the domain layer, we must first specify our entities. What are the entities? Entities are business objects of an application or system. Now with this definition, what are the entities of News App? To find entity, just answer this question. What kind of data will the News App operate with? As you probably understood, the answer is article entity. Now to find out which fields article class must have, we have to take a look at the response from the News API. If we pay attention to the response, we can see that the article has fields such as title, description, content, and other fields that you can see. We must define the fields in the article entity class that the application needs. Now we go back to the entities folder and create a file called article, and inside it we define a class called article entity. Then we define the fields we need, and also define the constructor of the class with these fields. And finally, the class must extend equatable. It extends equatable to allow for easy value comparisons. This will help us later in managing state in the block. Equatable comes with props property, which has its own purpose in object comparison. Props property decides which objects we should consider for object comparison. Props is a getter method that will return list of objects. Here object can be of any type. We have to simply return a list of all the objects that are available in our class. And make sure hit the subscribe button to get next video.